We move to this reference image here now, this particular one. That's one we move to now. We are moving to now. Now, if we're to use just what we have demonstrated so far in modeling this one, I will just use plane to build all of this, just yeah, plane like this to build this up. As you can see in this one, you can see it's just kind of flat like this. So if you continue with that, we will end up just having something like this also that we can see here. So this is quite flat for the body, though the head was used, cube was is a building block for the head, so it will be flat. But this as it is can actually work if maybe again we want to have it placed on the wall or even on the table to just have it as it is in. But with the art direction that I have in mind is that this should possibly be a very big a piece in the environment. There's a piece in the environment like a big statue, so it is expected to be round, like have that feel of being round. As such, building with this plane, now this plane, this one is good, and it's also a very good practice, like when we did this, to like get your hand on that, understanding how to the easiest way to that I believe I found, like the way to like model anything is more of like tracing something. So, but in this regard now, we'll be using things like either the cube or the cylinder. Though in this our case, cylinder works, but for this head, we'll use a cube to build that, and we'll jump right into it. And there's a little bit of some form of because this is a 2D drawn, hand drawn, and yeah, very not realistic at all, and we are trying to translate it into 3D, so there's some level of that, and some level of that happening here, right, which we'll later get into, and there's also some level of that happening on the leg. But with what I have, it's just best for us to just cut, just use extract our just use from here as a reference and discard this. Okay, I'll just click here, shift and right click on this to have my cursor jump here. So shift A, add a mesh cylinder. So I'm adding a cylinder, but this time around, because if I go ahead now, you can see the vertices are like 36. That's like too many for us to work with. And remember the last time we were just working with, yes, we started off with four, but when we were manipulating at each time, when we were extruding, we needed to extrude like just two, and that made our job easier. So as such, we need to reduce this to like eight here, eight vertices. So I think that this is okay. So you can bring this way, then R to rotate it. Now I'm blocking as much as possible here now. Then S. Now I'm hitting S. I'm not using just because if you use just this one, sometimes you look as if it has been scaled down. But when you now pan around this, so you realize that no, everything went wonky. So when you are blocking again, when you are blocking, endeavor to scale with S, like, or use this white gizmo here to scale. So I think this is okay. Control Z on that. Back to my move tool, then grab this. I need to get this contour here, this as close as possible though, like this. Okay, I can afford to scale it up a little bit more. Yeah, I think this is about it. I think this is good enough for us to now go into the edit mode to start manipulating. So, but before that, we just need to hit Control A to apply my scale, because we've scaled it down and all of that. So apply the scale, then hit Tab, enter into edit mode, be in vertex mode. So you can take this now, just this one here now, and continue to scale it more like this. Yeah, I think this one is okay. Then drag this and ensure that you can see my toggle extreme mode is on. because if not, you may just be selecting. You think you're manipulating, you're aligning everything here. At the end of the day, if you do this, it's not selecting the one at the back. So just ensure your this your toggle X-ray mode is on. So I can take this and always try as much as possible, like for each of these vertices, like for them to be on the same line as much as possible. As much as possible. Sometimes it may not really be possible, but just try, very much to still align them, that they are aligned. After a second thought, if you watch with here like this, there's a break here. You can see there's like one contour, then there's like kind of a contour that goes off from it from here to, if you can watch um the the contour, there's a contour, like there's one here, then there's another one that breaks. So I think this is too much. The one that for me to just jump into this is it's too much. So it makes more sense for me to take all of this back. So my key selecting all of this, drag them back to still capture to some extent the this thing happening here. So I can afford to take this one like this now. So have everything selected this way, marquee selecting all of this, and mind you, I'm able to do like marquee select like this just to drag all over this because I'm in the move to. So I can hold shift and drag and select all of this. Then you know what, let me straighten this a bit more like this. Yeah, select this, then E. You see I made a mistake, I didn't select this. Control Z, shift select all of this, then E. So extrude this way, then take this way. Then holding shift to marquee select, then E to still select this way. In fact, I can just S to scale it this way. Yeah. So just following the curvature. Now, for an early starter, you may not be seeing it right, but with time you get to start seeing, because I can see there's one, then another one here, then another one, and many times I try not to just jump as as huge as possible. So I try to take it one step at a time to give that. So once you add our subdivision surface, everything will look better. Then E again, drag out first. So I'm dragging out, then I click. Maybe I did if I didn't explain that very much here. So I E dragged out, then click, establish this first, then I take this up this way. Then I try to align this because this may start going inside this way. Then take this like this, marquee select all of this, then E again, take it out, then select this way. Now I'm able to easily do all of this because I'm not scared of maybe you know mistakenly moving everything out of proportion and all of that, because I have my front view. This is my front view, so I can select this. If not, if you're in perspective view and you're moving this thing this way, let's say I'm in perspective view and I'm moving it this way, sometimes you can see to start becoming wonky. But that's not what I want to do. So Control Z on that, and So that's just something to bear in mind. I'm able to use this I'm moving it in two axes at the same time, whereas it will still maintain flow, to still maintain the flow that I'm looking at, that I'm having a visual reference here, simply because I'm in orthographic view. So that's something to also bear in mind. S scale down, because if I'm in perspective view, like I can't be doing this and I'm moving it into axis this way. It's not advisable. You can sometimes, but you may not. Some things may start going off. You may eventually not go off, oh, but sometimes things may just start going off. So yeah, thinking of rotating this a bit this way. No, no, let me leave this here now to capture this for this one, but this needs to be raised up a bit this way. You know what? After a second, let me just leave them sharp like this. Oh, no, but this is where maybe breaking this a little bit now comes in play. Okay, I think this works this way now. Then take this, then E, bring it out first. I click to establish the extrusion for us. Sorry, Jerry, I just switched on my screen keys now, Jerry. Forgot to do that earlier on. So in this now, somewhere here, I think everything just goes back to, so I can afford to either manually do this, like to some extent, this should start aligning, like be on a straight line here. I can either manually start doing this, or I can just like manually by when I mean by manually, I can start to want to make everything be on the same line like this, you know, do them one after the other. Sometimes it works, which is probably working here now. In fact, yeah, I think this also works, right? But some other time you can see they're all facing Z, right? This is up, this is Z, I know with this my this in here, this my gizmo here, this is corresponds with this is Z, right? Z space. So I can marquee select all of these, select these two, then hit S, scale them in Z axis, then 0. So I'm only scaling them on Z axis on 0. So S Z 0, then enter to establish this. So because somewhere from here everything starts, being straight. So that helps us now with this. So from here now, still having everything selected here now. So this has just leveled everything to be, or I can push this in a little bit more, or even push this way somewhat like this. So with all of this selected now, I can hit E to extrude this, to now start having this straight line this way. And I think I can scale, just bring this in this way, bring this in this way. You know what? Let's just leave that one that way. But sometimes having this too close may start causing some issue. But let's maybe raise this up this way. Yeah. So with this now, can E take it up this way. So this is okay. We'll be adding our hand here. So as such, we should be careful with that to make some room. That's from here. So there'll be some space here. So from here now, E again to extrude this up. Then somewhere here, we start having this curve, right? So but that means we need to drag this way, just a little bit this way. Then this also start bringing this. So you just to follow. It's not anything complex, but you get the gist. It's not just to start following this way. So marquee select this, or can bring this in more. Yeah, and this hand is somewhere here, so probably want to raise this up a little bit more this way. Yeah, because the hand will be coming somewhere here, so I want to give it more room to extrude this out when we get to the hand later. So this is also going back this way, so there's that flow happening, so you just need to also align with that flow that is now going back. So you can select all of these, then E again, bring it up, hit to establish it, click to establish it rather, then this will bring it here, S, because everything starts going smaller this way. Then E again, then S. Oh, this is where we probably just, because this is looking too, okay, this may work though, but this is looking too much of a stretch this way. Or sometimes you can add, sometimes this may work or sometimes this may not work, like depending on after we add this loop, this may not be too much here, like too much, too many stretching here. So as you know what, let's leave it this way. I just added it to not have that too much stretching happening here. So in a nutshell, I think this is it for the for this main body, and this is what we should have now. So we can afford to, take it outside this way, bring it out this way, and come out of this mode, be in this mode to see what we have. Yeah, I later discovered that some of the other one, like here is just to, what, let's add our subdivision surface. You see that we had, what, control 2 or add modifier. Come to modifier here, add modifier, generate subdivision surface. Okay, not too bad though. Then take this to 2. So take it to 2, then right click on this, shade smooth. So you shade smooth it. In a nutshell, this is it. But yeah, there was a time I came here, hit tab, and I started with my edge mode here. I'm alt click here. Then I discovered that I needed to, let this place enlarge a bit, like to just scale it up a bit. So I can come to this my scale tool, just enlarge this just a bit more. This one is just personal preference. It's not, there's no fast way around it, but it's just personal preference. So, but I'm just telling you, sometimes you can, after even, blocking out your model, because this is just reference that we're using, then you can come in to still tweak this thing up a bit, right? So that's for the, then this one we won't be seeing with my art directions. I will have this thing wrapped around here. Okay, now let's build that. So once we have this selected now, you can come to face mode here, then alt face mode. This yeah, face mode here, then alt click on this, alt click on that, then hit shift D to duplicate that. So duplicating that face, shift D, before then, you know what? Let's come to object mode. Locate. I want to locate my. You know what? Okay, since I have it selected here, wherever it is, this is it's just one of this, right? So once I hit M, I want to place it in a new collection, wherever it is. At the time, I wanted to locate it there, but there's no need. So I can once I hit M, so I have collection, place into a new collection, call it trumpeter, trumpeter, then create. So wherever it is, you just extract it and put it inside here. So I can call this body. So now I can go back to this tab to come into this, then yes, I think yes, we've done the Shift D before, right? If you haven't done it, do Shift D, then P, that is separate. We want to separate this now, have that as a separate mesh, as a separate object, do selection. So you can see there's body 001 because we already named this body one time like that. So that's why we have body 001 here, then we have body 2 here. So come to object mode. So I just came out of that mode now into object mode. So this is my object mode here now. So I can um just say waist waistband, right? Yeah. Just say waistband. So yeah, this is the waistband. Oh, you can see this was totally separated from my mesh. Like it totally separated it, and not that's not what I want. Where it's good for you to see this mistake now. So if any of you made this mistake, that's not what I want. So just Control Z on that. Just Control Z on all of this. So Control Z on all of this. So what happened was that when I was here, remember I got here by alt clicking to select all of this, right? So I needed to have done Shift D. I think I missed that step, Shift D. So this is it duplicates it, you can see, but hit escape. You don't want to move it at all. Hit escape. So it's there. The new one is placed on the former one there. So it now hits P and selects selection. So it separates it now. So it duplicated and separated it. So and come out of um, edit mode. Come out of edit mode. So this should be the body. So name this waist waistband. Now with this now you can come here. You know what? We can do that in the object mode. So hit tab, select all of them. A to have everything selected, then S to scale it up a bit, right? So we have this now. So we have this. Maybe we can scale it up just a tiny bit more. So we have this now. So with this now, we can afford to just come, and once we have this now, so this one inside there, we don't really need it anymore. We can afford to. Okay, you know what? Maybe let's just leave it. You know what? This is the body. So, but the way to remove this because it's not looking too nice. So the way to do that is to insert I to insert this. So insert one to establish this because subdivision service is acting on it to just act upon this to restrain the subdivision to mark the edges to mark the edges here. So this is okay. Then another I again. So now refine it the more something like this. But many times you need to do like 3, 2, then another one. Yeah, I think this is better this way now. Hit tab. So with this now, with this waist bead here now, you can come here or you can just come here and add solidifier. generate solidify. Can raise this up this way. Sometimes once they are misbehaving, just try to check the hierarchy of either of them. Should we have, you know what, we'll come back to this later. But we come back to this later. We can make this much more better than it is looking right now. But with this, we can have this now. If I add a supporting loop like this, yeah. So let's add the supporting loop there. Then you can add another supporting loop at the bottom this way. So what I do, I just essentially created a loop here. So I created this loop here now. I just added this loop here and I added Control R to add another loop here. So that now helps in bringing back some of the curvature here. So I can afford to reduce this like this. Depending on the art direction you want, you can afford to, yeah, to reduce or take it to whatever size you want. So now to the hand. So we need to be in this view now to be sure something of somewhere here, right? So I hit tab. I need to select this, hit tab, right? I think select somewhere here to be sure of where exactly it is. So it should be here. So face mode, select this so we know that this is a face. And as I said the other time, like, because this is 2D, right? You're like toggling in between, because right now it's looking like we may need to add the second hand somewhere here, but not really. That is 2D interpretation of it, and they were not even going for realistic. You can afford to do it and try to where that might be another art direction that you want to explore also based on your own art direction. You can say, okay, no, you want this thing to also look a bit wonky. So, but for me, this is what I would just go. But right now, if I try to do this, because right now I want it rounded, but if I just try to extrude, because remember, you want to, if you want it rounded, we may need to still decrease this more and make this thing is okay. It's looking. You want to have it look more of like a box as much as possible because subdivision surface will not act on it a square as much as possible. Though this is looking close to square, but it's too big one, and it's also looking more of like a rectangle. So since that's the case, we need to now first off, even before you extrude, so two things we are using it to achieve. We want to also scale it down the more, make it look square as much as possible, and also there's a good practice before you bring extrude anything. Try to because now we've defined this as the main body, right? And but we want to now bring out the hand. But in bringing out the hand, we may now with whatever mesh we have here, may now start affecting the other mesh that we've already built, the topology of the mesh, other mesh that we've already built. So a way to not let that happen, the new one we are building not so negatively affects the older one that we built. A good practice is to create a new surface, what we call insert, and you hit I to do that. I. So with this now we insert this in this way, but to a large extent, this is not what I want. But you can just do this too. Yes, at least we have something more square-ish and much more a bit smaller because once the smaller it gets, the better it is for us to get that rounded this thing that will come out of that we will need. But right now, I need it. I need to come here, click on this individual. So with this individual, I create like a two separate one. for me. So, but with this now, you can see it comes back to this, making it bigger this way. So we can afford to come here and scale this way, right? But the curvature is not looking. You know what? So since that's the case, Control Z on that. So I'm here now, and I to insert individual this way to something like this. But I'm realizing this is still not giving me. So that means I may need to add a loop here in order to in order to so that once I start inserting, because you can see even after doing my insertion, right, this is still giving me, what was it called, um rectangular. And mind you, my individual distance is set here. So Control Z on that. So can hit Control R here, add one here, and try to get this as soon as close to this. So once we have these two selected, hopefully if it doesn't, maybe we need to add another one ourselves again. Or if we select this to face mode, if we select this and this, hopefully once we do it, that should then I yes, I think this is closer to it now. This way. Yeah. This is closer this way. So with this now we can afford to extrude out this way. Then E to extrude, just bring it out this way. Then just bring it out, just create the extrusion first, then later once I after creating that, let me be on my move to, then I can move this, position it to wherever I want. I think this is okay for now, something like this is okay. Then yeah, I think this is okay for now. Then if I start to extrude this, everything may look flat, there's one trick to maintain that it continue to extract this out this way and make it look rounded also. So once I have this way, once I press and control and so I want to follow, I want to extrude and let it follow this line this way, right? Once I hold control and right click, so it extrudes it along where my mouse is. So I want it to follow here now, like somewhere here now. So my mouse is there, so I keep my mouse there. Then I press control, then I click, I right click. So I can, but mind you, right now it's putting everything like this. So this is where it's still putting everything on the same, that 2D to 3D interpretation is. For me, I think it makes more sense to have it this way rather than having this other one where based on your own art's direction you can possibly choose it, put it in whatever place you want. So with this now I can come here. Now this is the next place I want it to to extrude at. So I'm holding control, then place my mouse there, then right click on this, then it goes this way, then right click on this, then you know what, can move this way, then right click here first, then right click here, then another right click here. But once we are here now, you can see everything start going smaller. So that means we need to hit S to scale this down this way. Also, I have my toggle X-ray mode on because I need to select all of this from here and have this also selected. Be my vertex mode, have all of this selected, and S because everything starts going being smaller this way. Then here also everything starts being smaller here. S to scale this down this way. Yeah, I think this should scale this down just a tiny bit this way. So this is what we have. And mind you, and all of this is also because I was able to scale this down. Like in bringing this, I inserted it, I made it smaller. If not, yours might be very just too big. I think I've scaled this place down too much. No, let me control Z on this. Okay, control shift Z. If that's the case, I need to compensate with this one here. Just scale this down. Alt, no, select all of this together. Double extreme mode on. Select all of this. Then S, just scale it down. Yes, so we have something like this. Then you can actually go in and start moving this one apart a bit more. But right now, just go on to the next thing. Number one. So we'll move to the head now. So for the head, it's a matter of shift A. Note, let's click on this. Um, shift, only shift and right click to have my mouse cursor jump to this top here. So shift A, then mesh cube, then scale this down. It can be my X-ray mode. Then bring this way to block the head. To block this head like this. Then I can also R to rotate it, something of this nature, to block it as much as possible. But right now I'm realizing this should have come up more. Yeah, let's just do it. Then later I can bring this up more. The neck should come up more this way. But let's just have this now. Let's focus on the head first. So with this now, once we have this, you can hit S, but before then Control A, apply scale, then Control 2 for the shortcut of what I'm about to do now. Add subdivision surface. Once we have that, then take this to 2. So you subdivide it, and I'm still in object mode. So I can come here, select this, apply Control A, that's apply the subdivision. So it has applied the subdivision on it. So I can afford to hit tab to come to this. But right now I need it to be placed under this trumpeter, but I can't even find where it is. So once I have my mouse hovering here, I hit full stop or period key on the numpad, full stop on the numpad key. So you know what, I need to be on object mode, so I have it here. So this is it here now. Or if I couldn't find, just hit period on the numpad, it jumps here. So this is a cube. So we can rename this head. So back to this view here. So I can select this last vertex here. So once I have that last vertex selected, then I can toggle on my proportion editing tool. Then I can hit G, or I can drag this out. But once I'm doing that, you can see, if you check here, you see my proportion editing tool. Or if you can't see the proportion editing tool, um, the brush for the proportion editing tool, just scroll down. I'll be scroll inside, use your mouse key while still pressing. See, I'm still holding this, so I'm still dragging this, but scroll your mouse at the same time. So you can see now, you can see the brush now. So with this, I can see the influence. And I think I like this influence here. So I can afford to take that way. Then marquee, select all of these, then also select this back this way. Then I think, you know what, let me reduce it. I'm increasing, but I want to reduce it. Reduce. So I'm scrolling it in, scrolling my mouse way in this way. Then I hit release this way. And I think I can afford to. Sometimes let me even check, yeah, how this is looking on this other side. I think this is looking nice. Hit numpad one, be here, then I think I need to scale everything up in the object mode. So this, I still have it selected. So S to still scale it up this way, just a little bit. Then R to rotate it more like this. And I think I can scale it. Oh, you know what? This is okay. I can use the proportion editing to do the rest. R to do this. Then tab to come to this mode. Then still have this selected. Then G. In fact, let me just grab it and move it this way. Then right now, I think I can. I'm marking. Mind you, I have this toggle X-ray mode. So once I'm selecting both the one I'm seeing and the one at the back too. So I can S to scale them down this way. But just this is just a rough head. It's not. We're not trying to make it look as very much close possible to the head, real head. So with this now, I think that's a very good block into what we have. This is a good block. So back to this, back to, yeah. So I think this is okay. I'm thinking I may need to see scale it up the more. Scale it just a tiny bit this way. Yeah, I think this works now. So with this now, come out of this mode. You can give this subdivision surface again. Where is this subdivision surface again? Take this to 2 also. Then shade smooth, right click on it, in object mode, right click on it, shade smooth to have this way. So this is what we have for the head. Hit tab, shift A, that's for the hand now. And just add shift A. Just add a cube, scale it down this way. Then scale it down the more, then R to rotate it like this. Again, add a subdivision surface to it. Yeah, something like this. Then take this to 2, then shade smooth it, then can afford to come. I'm hitting 7 to be in top view to see the hand this way, to align it to this one. Then let me see if I hit 3. Yeah, so I need to scale it down. Oh no, I think that's okay. Hit 1 this way. Just hit numpad 1 and bring it like this. Yeah. And then shift D. I don't know where shift D. Let's try this then. Take this way. If this would work, or just one, or just one alone would work. Let's see. But we'll be the judge of that after we add our trumpets and see how it will look like. Maybe just one alone would work. But let's see. And as I said, you can actually go in here. Yeah, and I think we will probably do that later. And move this hand. You can select all this hand and move them up apart a bit, especially from this part. Move them out a bit more. But that will be later. So back to the head. If we hit edit mode, you can see. So from each of these, if we're in the face mode here, select this to be in the face mode. You can select each of these, right, and do the same thing we did for this one. But we need to come to this mode and be sure of the one we want to see the one that, okay, maybe this one aligns to this, but I don't even, maybe I may need to teach them a bit to align more to what we have here. So let me just R, you know what, why still in this object mode? A to have everything selected, and R to rotate a bit this way. Or you know what, either way, we can always, jump. Okay, maybe something like this will work better. So this one now will work with this, then this one will work with this. So this one I have selected now, we use it for this one, then we use it for this dread. So it's a matter of, once we are here now, so I'm panning now to be here, then again I to insert first off, right, to have something of this nature. So something close to like having a square. So I think that should be okay. Then in front mode, numpad 1, once you are here, first of all, E, just bring this out a bit more like this. Just establish the extrusion for us. You can drag this down this way. Yeah, just drag it down just a little bit this way. Then once you can now use control left, no, right click, control right click this way. Yeah, control right click, control right click, control right click, then another control right click. So once we are here now, and we have all of this selected, then come to this edge mode here, select alt click to have everything here selected, which is not happening. No one's not happening. Okay, I'm holding alt and shift to select each of these. So once I'm in numpad 1 here, I can say Z 0 to have everything flatten out that way, then enter. So with this now, so we can do the final one here, control shift, right, control shift and right click to have this final one here. So with this, you can control R, add a loop cut here, maybe take it up this way, then add another loop cut just somewhere here. Then with that loop still selected, then select all of the one here, then S to scale up, then drag down this way, then drag out, align. Mind you, all of this I'm doing, I'm in the front view on part 1 first, then see scale up, then you can select just the last one here, scale it up the more like this. So this is what we have. So this is what we have. I think this is what you should have actually done for this one here. I think this one will look than this cube that I brought, but later I'll come back to that one. So numpad 1. So we want to do the same thing for this one on here. So face mode, select this and just toggle to be sure this is it. So numpad 1. So next thing I'm thinking, shouldn't I select this one here to add some variation to it? So we have, yeah, so I selected the inner one here, right here, numpad 1. So once you have that selected, then E to extrude out, so give this, no, remember Control Z on that should have insert first. I to insert to something like this, so that it will be close to a box as much as possible, to a square as much as possible. Let's say you release too early and you still want it, smaller. So all you need to do is to hit S now. Since it has inset already, hit S, it will continue to make it smaller. Or you want it bigger, you hit S again to make it bigger. S to scale it up or down. So that's something to note. S, let me just scale it because I think this one is looking smaller compared to the first one. So with this now, I can hit E to extrude out this way. Now I'm extruding out, then I'm clicking to establish this extrusion. So I just click to establish this extrusion. Then from here now, I can go forward with our right click, control rather than right click, control, then take my mouse to where I want it to be, then right click, take my mouse to where I want it to be, control, right click, take my mouse to where I want it to be, control, right click, control, right click, then another control and right click this way. So with this now, again, I can afford to control R, add the loop cut here, take it up this way. So once this one is still selected, then marquee select this last one to have everything here selected. Oh, our X-ray mode is not on. How is our X-ray mode on here? Marquee to have all of this selected. So, or you can always alt click this, then come down, you alt click on this. But I wonder why this one is not usually working. Maybe because the last one there. But just marquee select all of this. So once all of this selected now, then S to scale up, then this one start pushing this one in, then click to establish the scale, then drag down like this, then drag down like this, then select this last one here, marquee select this last one, and then scale it up the more. Okay, you know what, I should have brought this down the more. Marquee select this numpad 1, drag this out this way. So come out of X-ray mode, this is what we have. Numpad 1. So do that for the rest. I may need to just fast forward from now. So right now I'm looking at something like this one now, something like this face here now. Numpad 1. So this one would follow this. At the end of the day, I think I may just do one extra. One will not do the whole 5. I believe there are 5, right? Maybe we just do like 4. So with this now, E cell E extrude out. Again, Ctrl Z. We should have insert I insert to something like this. So like these other ones are a bit, so we can make this one a little tinier, like right, make it smaller. S to something like this, very small. Then E to bring it out. So right now it's not now looking. This is the flow I wanted it to. It's not looking the exact place. So you can bring it down like this. So you start bringing it down. Then this way, yeah. Numpad 1, then control, right click, I'm looking at scaling this down the more. So I have marquee select this, then marquee select this, then S to make it smaller. But you can see I thought Control Z. I thought my X-ray mode is on. It's not on, so I have it on now. Select this, then hold Shift, select this, then S, scale it down because I think it's too big. Take this up a bit more. Yeah, then just take one at the top here. No, maybe let's start with the top one here. On part one. Oh, it's looking like somewhere here, in fact. So on part one, so we can afford to do this here. So um, so I to insert, so something like this, as much as possible. On part one. Okay, we can just directly from here now hit control holding control, then with our mouse here, then just right click, right, then right click. You know what, we can drag this down the more like this. So control R, add a loop here, then can raise this up like this. Then again we can do S Z, then 0 to straighten this out this way. Then while it's selected, make sure X-ray mode is on, have this selected this way, then S to scale up, then drag it down, S to scale up the more, maybe I think that's okay. Then drag this one, scale this up the more like this. Again for this one, you can do S Z and 0. Yeah, hopefully it doesn't. Okay, part one, have this selected, Alt click on this, bring it down, then marquee select all of this, raise it up a bit more like this. Hitting tab out of this mode, so let's see what we have now. So this is what we have, so we can afford to add another one. Tab to be on this mode, you can afford to you know what, let's take this middle one here, this one here, on part one to see what we have. And this will follow this. Yeah, and I think that's all. Right? Yeah, that's good enough. So once we have this now, then once we have this, then I to insert this way, then on pad one, then control shift, right click, take my right, control R, click on this, take this up this way. Mind you, I'm still in on pad one, that's front view, marquee select, but before then make sure I'm in X-ray mode is selected, toggle, marquee select this, then S to scale up, then it jumps into this, then bring it down, bring it out this way, then this is just still scale it up this way, then bring it out this way, then marquee select this alone, then raise this up back, then take it this way. Then marquee, select Alt, click this, then you can raise this up. You know what, Control Z and then GG, the best, better way, GG twice, better way to raise this up. Try to follow the this thing. So this is what we have now for this. So we'll move straight to the trumpet. So why this head is selected now, right? Shift, right click on the mount here, front mode, then Shift A. Looking at this now, right? I think it makes more sense to have a cylinder. We started with a cylinder here, right? Yeah, it makes more sense to have a cylinder, but this time around we'll bump up the vertices. You will use 16 here, right? We use 8 here rather, so we can bump this up to like 30 or so. But make sure you have an even number when doing that. Shift A, mesh cylinder. So this is what I mean. Instead of 8 here, we can move it to like 30. So rather than 29 or 27, because that way later on, just make sure you're an even number, then hit enter. Then R, or you know what, let's go 32. Then R to rotate, to block the shape this way. Then toggle X-ray mode, deselected, S, scale down to get our shape to something like this. S to see scale down the more to get the shape, S again to scale down. So for the head, to a large extent, okay, now that we are done with this, I can afford to, I'm selecting the head now, right? I can afford to R now, rotate it this way because I want it, much more aligned with this now. This we've used it to get this our head now. I want to now get this the more. Okay, I think, or I can raise this back this way, something like this. I think this is okay. This is aligning with this. So hit tab to come to this edit mode, be in vertex mode, select all of this. So I'm selecting all of this. Mind you, my toggle X-ray mode is on, so I can select both the one I'm seeing in the front and the one at the back. If not, it won't select the one at the back. So numpad 1, I'll just raise this up this way to follow this. Just raise it up this way. Then S to scale up. Again, this is nothing to, like, you don't want to start forcing it to look like this because this is 2D again, right? And we're in 3D, so you can only just use that for reference here. So this is what we have here. So we can afford to shade smooth this actually. Then numpad 1, toggle X-ray mode. So we need to cut. So there is, with the reference here, there is a bulge happening here. Then there is a cut immediately after the cut, and one cut and two cuts. So though that's the idea, but we'll go on and do that inside what we have now. Or I can afford to hit tab, then still raise this up more to something like this. Yeah, possibly S to scale this down more like this. Yeah, so I can give this cut here now, the bulge rather. So, and to do that, we need to Control R, zoom out to see all your meshes now. Control R to add this loop cut. So drag it up here. So once this is here now, I can afford to Control B on it to give it this So I'll use it to bring out that this thing here. So, but let's just leave this for now. Then, okay, no, let's just go on and do this now. So with this selected now, hit Alt E to extrude face along the mouse. Alt E, extrude face along the mouse. Then drag out. Then drag everything out like this. I think this is okay. Something like this is okay. So this is what we have now. So it has added an extra loop in this. So this is what we have. On pad 1. Toggle extrude mode is on. Control R. Hit this. So I'm adding a loop here. So I want to add a loop, one loop here. So Control B on that. Control B on this to give this way. Oh, I just realized, you know what? GG, I need to move it up. No. No, let me Control Z on that. Then why here now? Just GG, move it up a bit before doing Control B on that. So I think this is okay. So now, then add another one, Control R somewhere here, bring it down this way, then Control B on that too. Yeah, I think this should just be tiny. So with this selected, now come to face mode, have all of this selected, Alt, click on this to have all of this selected, delete this, delete faces. So this jumps out now, this stands alone now. On pad 1, so select this to Alt, select this, then again, delete, or X, delete, then faces. So this is what we have. Then we need to see through it, right? So this tab mode, edit mode, have this face selected and delete face also. So this is what we have. So we can add, generate, solidify modifier. So I'm taking it inside as plus addition. I'm giving it to it now. Then you can give it bevel. Then give it that too. So this is what we have now. // once you have this selected, / to isolate it, then come here, select this bottom one here, tab, select this, then delete also, delete faces also. Now why you're not seeing, because of the, remember we added solidify modifier that is acting upon it now. So / to come out of this mode. Let's try adding subdivision surface modifier. Let's see how that looks like. Okay, I think that helped now. And I just kept this at 1 solidify modifier. Yeah, that helped. So, you know what? Let's make this invisible. Our reference image, where is this reference? So we can be in top view. So let's align things up. You can afford to take this way. Let's see. Maybe on part 3. So even the head itself, So I'm selecting the head and the trumpets. I need to move them this way more. So I line them in the middle more like this. Okay, I think this is not bad. On part one, then you can select this and this. Now move them down on the Z. Okay, no, I said, you know what, we needed to raise this up the more, right? Okay, let's come here, numpad one, and tab rather, then select this top, and I'm in face mode. I just selected this face here. So numpad one back. So just drag this up and raise it this way. Yeah, yeah, I think that solves that. Or selecting this, then moving it this way a little bit. Yeah. So this is what we have now. So in the next lesson, I'll talking of how to place this. We'll be going to our building our bridge now, and later we'll talk about texturing and all of that. So